All right, what up, YouTube? Back real quick because I'm bored. I wanted to play the game. I told y'all I got a video game addiction on top of smoking weed and all that, whatever. But nah, yeah, I want to play the game. My brother was in there tripping or whatever. To he trying to study for school or something. So I'm back because I'm bored and I thought of something. I was thinking more about Peter because Peter denied Christ, like I was just talking about, after he said he wouldn't do it. And then he lied to the people and all that. Not to call him a liar, but just to show like this is where I'm going with this. After Peter did all that, you would think like he would be departed from God, but his words are still quoted in the Bible. It's still two books written about Peter in the Bible. So, I was, me being bored, I was just thinking about this because I'm thinking like when my brother was just saying, he was just talking about, so I'm sitting around, I ain't doing nothing all day and blah, 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 trying to make it seem like I'm a bum or something. So I was wondering, should I start a church? Especially, how I'm going to break this down to y'all. What I was just thinking, like I said, I was thinking more about Peter and how he lied and said he didn't know Christ and he lied to Christ. But his words are still quoted in the Bible. It's still two books written about him. So what I was thinking, is you can still make a mistake and be somebody. It's and one of the matter of fact, one of one of the statements that Peter made in the Bible is well known. We quote it all the time. It's talking about being vigilant and being sober because your adversary, the devil, walking about as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And that perfectly summed up the situation he was in. Because he had to lie and say he didn't know Christ because some people was gonna kill him. His adversary, demons of the devil, was walking about seeking whom they gonna devour for associating themselves with Christ. So Peter said, "Be vigilant and be sober, because your adversary, the devil, walketh about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." And he ended up lying because of that, because he saw the devil seeking to devour him. So you can make mistakes sometimes because he was tempted to lie. Even after Christ told him he was gonna do it, he still did it. He still lied. So you can be tempted sometimes to make the wrong choice and you can still be somebody. So that's kind of what I was thinking while I was bored. So how, like I said, wanting to play the game, should I start a church? Pretty much. I mean, if anybody agree with what I just said, let me know for real, because I definitely know somebody feel what I'm talking about. Somebody understand what I just said. Peter pretty much did something that he said he wouldn't do. And his words are still quoted in the Bible. Those very words, he telling you, be sober and be vigilant. He was being sober and vigilant like Abraham, our forefather, and like Isaac was when they said that they didn't, their wives were their sister. They were being vigilant because they seen that their adversaries were roaring around them. Is like, well, they weren't even roaring in Abraham's case, but he just knew like they might set me up and take my wife or whatever. So even like I'm saying, you seen with Peter with Christ, who's an ambassador of Christ directly. I mean, Abraham too, because he talked directly with God. But that's just what I'm saying. Like, don't separate the art from the person. Because I know a lot of people just gonna take my words and just auto poetry. Well, I only made two. Or I really made another one for somebody else, but I don't really count it as the ones amongst the people. But I really made four, and I think I probably made a lot more than I think. But I made four, I guess, for sure. But the two that I made for the people, don't disdain that and just look away from it, even if you don't want to hear it from me. Because like I'm showing y'all, even Peter got into a situation when he said he wasn't gonna do something, he still did it. And like I said, when I first told you I was gonna stop believing in God, I told y'all that God told me he was gonna make a fool. I was gonna make a fool out of myself if I did that. So I felt like this all was supposed to happen for real. So whatever. I ain't even really finna get too much into that, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was bored sitting here thinking, should I start a church? Just with the way, like I said, I ain't been reading lately, and that's, cool too. If I ain't really been reading, I can still put those connections together like that. How Peter used those same words, and put them in action, and you can see why his words in the Bible. So pretty much that's what I was saying too. I'm wondering if I should start a church after all the poetry I done wrote and stuff. Seeing that God is clearly with me, I'm wondering like, should I start a church? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have told Peter like, "Nah, you this, you that, nah, nah, nah," but he was still counted as an apostle amongst Christ, and I consider myself to be an advocate of Christ. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm bored, but my brother went upstairs, so maybe I'll play the game or whatever. But I don't know. That's what I was thinking though. So I don't know. I'm out.